Well, hello, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Tuesday, May the 30th, 2023. Tuesday, May the 30th, 2023. Okay, let's see what's happening on the Young and the Restless. Um, you know what? You want to know what's the biggest broken record in everybody? I am so sick and tired of it. If they show Nick Newman one more time, going to his mommy, his daddy, and then back to his sister, then back to his mommy, and then his daddy, and then back to his sister, talking about how much he hates Nate with Victoria. I want to slap him. It's a broken record. Mind ya, Nick. Mind your own business. Everybody knows how you feel. Yeah, you happen to be right about Ashlyn because Nick was the only one in the family that adamantly still stayed opposed to Ashlyn, right? But come on, Nick. Just stop it. You're going to cause your sister to fire you, right? So now, Michael and Christine go to the Abbott house and they break the news. Christine tells Diane she's dropping the charges. Jack and Diane were so thrilled, so relieved. You know what? I don't even like them together, but I was happy for them. They they genuinely, because she was innocent. She was framed, right? So guess what? Hopefully they learned this lesson. Don't frame anybody else. Because they happily framed Stark for a crime he didn't commit, thought nothing of it. But then it happened to them and disrupted their life. So guess what, everybody? Guess what, you two? Don't you guys do it again. I'm just saying, right? So Kyle was happy. Everybody's happy. Kyle is saying, I got to go find Summer to tell her what. Little did Kyle know that Chance, where's my picture of Chance? Is this him? Yep. Chance was already at Crimson Lights talking to Daniel and Summer, telling them about the evidence. And the evidence is they found a program with Phyllis's DNA on it and her fingerprints. Programs were printed after she was dead. So yeah, she is still alive. We know it. And so Summer's like, he goes, the charges against Diane are being dropped. But what's going to be done to help my mother? I mean, when she comes back, I mean, we got to make sure she doesn't do. He goes, Summer, I told you, I will follow the evidence, but your mother is facing some serious, serious charges. And the district attorney is determined to make an example. Now, she has wasted so many police resources and manpower, and she's not even dead on this case. So even when she does come back, this is serious against her, period. Okay. So Daniel and Summer sit down, and Summer's like, see, this is what you did. See? Now there is a manhunt for mom. Now she's never gonna come back. And he goes, oh, you mean what else happened? Your husband's mother, who your husband has been worried about, who was innocent, mind you. Oh, she's free now? Charges have been dropped? Oh, that happened too, right, Summer? I am only worried about my mother. Kyle was worried about his mother. And now our mother, my mother, is now probably never going to come back. So Daniel was talking to her, and Daniel's, he's pressing her, and Summer kept opening her mouth saying stuff about she feels this, and he goes, you know what? Wait a minute. You're talking. He goes, how do you know what she's thinking? Have you been talking to her? And she looked at him. Do you know where she's at? And Summer just looked, and he goes, Summer, do you know she's my mother too? She goes, yeah, and look at what you did. I made a mistake of telling you she was alive, and look at what you did. And he goes, it happened to be the right thing to do. And so she said something about his DNA, you know, the way he was raised. And he was like, what's that supposed to mean? What does that say for you and mom then? That we think differently. She's proud of that, right? And he goes, okay, but Summer, we need to figure out a way. Let me help figure out a way to clear mom. And she goes, oh no, I can't trust you at all, Daniel. Can't trust you to even go along with the plan. And she was right about that. She was 100% right. There's no way I would tell Daniel where she is. He would call Chance up and say, this is where my mom's at. He would, period. He goes, I can help, we're trying to find out. She goes, we're trying to find evidence showing that mom killed Stark in self-defense. So showing that he always planned, he manipulated her. He always planned that, right? Because they're figuring the other charges are more chump change. Michael could get them off. It's this murder charge that she's got to have the biggest thing against or biggest fight with. So we'll see how they handle that. And Summer ends up saying, no. He goes, I want to talk to her. She goes, she's looking like, nope, we're going to do this my way. Because I see what your way is like. No. So anyway, guess who ends up right back in Audra's room? What is this now? That's the regular spot Nate is meeting his employee. This time he brought her coffee, right? And they're talking. And he's telling her how well it went with Victor Newman, and he passed the mustard and this, that, and the other. And Nate is just sitting there. He's so smug and just, And Audra's just looking like, okay, we shall see. Good for you. I'm happy you feel you got everything under control. And he goes, Nick Newman is the only problem. Because Nick, every chance he gets, he talks against me. Because he's still upset Victoria gave me his girlfriend's job. So he goes, so Nick Newman is the one that I need to deal with, or we need to deal with. I need to deal with. And he goes, and that's where you're going to come in. And she looks at him like, wait, huh? And I'm thinking, Nate, Nick is not going to look Audra's way. Nick would only look Audra's way if Adam dated Audra first. See, if Audra starts to work for Adam and they became a thing, then Nick would want something to do with her. Because that's the way them brothers roll. They want each other's leftovers. So Audra doesn't have a chance in heck to seduce Nick. That won't work whatsoever. So we'll see what kind of plan Nate thinks he can have, right, against Nick. See, that's the cockiness. That's that cockiness, that downfall that Nate is gonna have. So guess who's back from college? There's Faith. They kept the Faith, the original Faith actress. She's a young woman now, right? Looking like one. Brought the cat for the summer. I guess in the dorms they have a cat, and she got elected to take this hideous named cat home with her, and she gets to meet her niece for the first time, and they're all gaga and over the baby. And Nick shows up, and there's his little girl, and they hug, and they're talking about Aria. And then Sharon hears something on the porch area, and Nick heard it too. And she looked at him, he looked at her. But what Nick started to do was kind of interject in the conversation more so nobody could start paying attention to what Sharon was doing. Because Sharon gets up and she opens the door and she sees this box left on her porch area there, enclosed porch area. See, what did I tell y'all? They have guards to get on. It's a guard shack, a guard gate. Why does that guard never catch anybody coming onto the property? There is no way security should be that loose. None whatsoever. Okay? So anyway, she picks up the box and comes back in, and she looks at Nick and he looks at her, and they both kind of look at the box. And then he starts talking about Faith, telling Faith, you know, interjecting, making them all laugh while Sharon walks around to the her little desk on the side. And I think Faith even looked up and said, "Hey, what's in the box?" And then Nick kind of interjects in the conversation again, taking their attention off of it. And so Sharon opens it up, and it is a book of matches, but I think it's from the motel that he attacked her or assaulted her at, or the one where she hit him on the head with. Somewhere, this is the motel that I think they slept together when they first met, right? And Nick is looking across the room at her. He sees it, so he knows, okay, this is from Stark. And Chance found out, he got a call that Stark was let out. He served his sentence, so he is released. But he hasn't given the information yet to Sharon and Nick, because he just got the information at the end of the episode, right? So what happens is they go to showing Stark. Now Stark is in his room, and he's obsessed with Sharon. He's doing nothing but looking at pictures, this big old picture of Sharon on his tablet. Oh, it's like, oh, you know. And then he goes to light this cigar, and I'm thinking, oh, what hotel? I know the athletic club does not allow smoking in the room like that. I would hate to get that room after a cigar smoker was smoking in it. Oh my God. So anyway, before he lights it, he's looking at the fire flame. He's just looking at it, trying to form a plan. I'm thinking, is he going to try to burn Sharon's house down? That would be something, right? I don't know about that. We shall see. So, and what's her name? Faith. Because they said, oh, your brother got tired of waiting for you. He left. She goes, nah, no. She goes, no, I already know. Noah's back. He opened up another glam club in the UK. What do you mean another one? I haven't seen anybody at this glam club at all. They probably had to shut it down, because remember, the Grand Phoenix is being remodeled, renovated, right? So Noah's in the UK. Allie's in Paris, working at the Jabot Labs in Paris. And what Sharon said is every other weekend, one takes the train to see the other, or they meet halfway. And I thought, yeah, that couple was boring anyway. So, they had to give them the boot, because there wasn't nothing special with Allie and Noah. And look, Jack forgot all about this granddaughter of his. So that was their way of writing them off the show and tidying it up as to where have they been and what's happening with them. So now let's go to Comment Corner, everybody. Lisa says, Daniel wasn't raised by Phyllis. That's the difference between him and Summer. Daniel is not used to Phyllis's scheming. Anita says, Summer could have gone shopping at a grocery or clothing store. Why take items from the Jabot house? I don't understand that either. I don't understand that at all. Lisa says, I thought Summer was referring to the staircase where she is not being seen. Well, I'm sure they do have two staircases in that hotel, but there's one staircase right in the front, right? And then Annette says, Nate may go up against Victor. Thanks for all who served. He may not go up against Victor. Thanks for all who serve. No, he's not that stupid. He's not going to make an enemy out of Victor. But you know what? Victor's still watching him. Victor might say he likes him, but he's still watching him, right? Scott says, spoiler, nobody will go to jail. Michael will get them all off. Well, I don't know if that's a spoiler. I figured that would happen. I would just like to know, how are they going to write it so that Phyllis gets off? I mean, let's face it, Phyllis is not going to jail. We knew that. And then she's going to get off. Christine's going to be pissed. And Diane is going to constantly want to snipe at her because of what you did to me. Goodness gracious, that's what's going to happen. Libby says, okay, I guess you got revenge because I didn't know what a big L was. I had to rack my brain for that one. LOL. Oh, and sorry, I thought I'd use I can't wait. Oh my God. Before IKR. Oh, I know right. No, you probably did do I know right IKR before. I just don't really remember acronyms very well. I just don't. I mean, and you see, even right now, I knew it yesterday and I'm trying to figure out what the heck is that now? Okay, so before it said what it was. Yeah, you did. I guess Phyllis will find something on the internet to exonerate herself. Maybe Stark hired a hypnotist and put her under a spell, blah, blah, blah. It'll be something far-fetched like that. It'll be something to where Stark was purchasing a drug and drugged Phyllis, right? It's going to be something. And here's the thing. See, we're forgetting Phyllis is a master manipulator. Phyllis can put stuff on the internet implicating Stark with a master plan. They faked the receipt of Diane buying the arsenic, right? So she could play something. Phyllis can be Phyllis and implicate Stark. And then Annette says NTB WBT. Oh, Annette, you messing with me now. Because I'm not even going to try to figure that out at all. Very funny. And then Georgia says, you are so entertaining. Look, I'm entertaining when y'all give me something to work with. These acronyms get me going. Annette. So anyway, that's it for the daily recap of The Young and the Restless. I will be back tomorrow for another daily recap.